10 and a member of GOA since 2011. So I'm going to pass it on to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming out today. Just to give you a little bit of background, I have managed about 1,300 trade shows. So I have a couple tips I'm kind of excited to share with you. How many of you have exhibited before? Okay, so this is probably going to be a refresher course for you, reminder of what you need to do, and I'm hoping maybe you'll come away with one little tip that you didn't know before. And the rest of you, this is going to be great fun. It's going to be great fun. So this is what we're going to go over today. We're going to talk about pre-show planning. We're going to talk about marketing, what you do before you attend the show. We're going to talk about engaging and greeting people when they come past your booth. Dismissing people, you know, sometimes you just can't get rid of them. What are good ways to do that? We're going to go over some booth etiquette, and then I'll open up to questions. But again, if you have questions anytime throughout the presentation, it's pretty casual. Hold on, I got to move this out of the way. Just raise your hand or just ask me a question. Okay, so we're going to do pre-show planning. First thing we're going to do is set some goals. Why are you going to go to the show? What is the purpose of you attending? Are you launching a new product? Let's say I like candy. I'm a chocolatier. So I produce chocolate. I've got a new flavor I want to test. My family loves it, but I'm just not sure. So my goal is to have people sample this and maybe take a short survey at the booth. Variegated marketing, my goal is to talk to people and find out anyone that needs some information about marketing communications or if they need help with their trade show program. So define a specific goal and assign a number to it, because when the show's over, if you don't have a good goal, how are you going to know whether it was successful or not? You want to be able to celebrate, yes, I got 5 people to sample this chocolate and they all loved it, or I've got 10 viable leads for marketing. So you need to set some goals. Okay, but we're going to talk about planning your space. I'm going to ask you to get up. Do you mind? We're going to walk over and we're going to talk about these booth spaces. Or if you want to sit here, you can, but So this is a tabletop booth. This is important. You come up here and you can see exactly what's going on, right? There's some large graphics. You can see right away what the Odium's doing. You've got the brochures down here, and it's very open. So you're going to want to come in, you're going to welcome people in to talk. When we go to an 8x8 booth, a lot of people put their table in front. What does that do? It creates a barrier. Don't come any closer. Do not try to scan that QR code because you're not going to be able to do it. And it just creates a barrier. When you talk to someone, you're trying to talk over the table. Oh, hi, how are you? You don't want to do that. So you put your table in the back. I understand the tables are going to be a little thinner, so you can put your table on the side. Make it kind of interesting. There's also going to be a hanging sign, a small sign, an identifier for your booth, the name of your company. So that'll be up there. But make it kind of interesting. What's going on? You can see I've got some samples of my literature, of course my variegated plant. Someone's going to ask me, what does variegated mean? Okay, I've got a little show going just to kind of grab your eye as you're walking by. I've got my big graphic. Here's the other thing. When you get to your booth space, try and figure out which direction the traffic's going to flow. I figured you'd all come this way. So I kind of tilted this a little bit. You were all, just little nuances like that. Figure out which way most of the traffic is going to flow. And then again, having it open like this, it invites people in. Okay? What else? Giveaways. I guess we can sit down now if you want. We'll talk about giveaways. If I was given away this iPad in my booth, how many people do you think I'd have stop at the booth?
4 million.
How many leads do you think I would get?
None.
I would probably take a ton of business cards and a ton of names. How long do you think it'd take me to sort through to find those 5 people I'm looking for?
Months.
Right. So if you're going to do a giveaway, try to tie it in so it's appropriate with your business. I would probably give away an hour of marketing consultation. We do that. You could give away, I do like pens, logoed items, small items that people take with them, the paper from the Odium here. Because as you use it, something that people use, as you use it, it reminds them, Oh yeah, I got this at the Odeum. Oh yeah, I heard Bonesz talk. She was pretty good. So the logo items I like, but again, if you're going to do a giveaway, fine tune it to your business. Tie it somehow to your business. And then the final thing, fine tune your elevator speech. Figure out what you want to tell people. You only have a few seconds, you know, to get that information out. What are the main things you want to talk about? And the way I look at it is what you want to tell them is what you can do for them. You know, I mean, I can tell you I can do email marketing, I can do this, I can do postcards, I can do social media, but really what you want to know is I'm going to be able to increase your business. So turn it around, make it a benefit statement. And practice. You know, you only have a little while, you know, as they walk by. Use your network. Promote it on your website. If you have a website, put a little link to the Expo's website. Include it in your newsletter. Just a little blurb. Hey, I'm going to be here in booth XYZ. Come to the Expo April 26th. Talk about it on social media. Put it on Facebook. Create an event. Go to the GOA's website. You know, make comments. I'm going to be there. Stop by and see us at our booth. Create some buzz. And again, word of mouth. Everybody you talk to. You know, you're having a cup of coffee. Oh, you know, you're talking to someone. Talk to them about, are you going to the Great O'Hare, to the Expo? It's a great place, a lot of networking. There's going to be over 100 vendors there, local businesses. And you know, you get about 1,000 people come through. It's free to attend, isn't it? Is it
Yes.
free? So it's free to attend. I mean, you know, just talk it up. And then on top of all that you're going to do, the GOA is doing a lot of work. So I'm going to ask Lori to tell you some of the work that they've done.
The GOA has a pretty huge marketing campaign for the Expo in place. We have 2 radio sponsors. It's going to be WIND, who's going to be running about 30 spots starting in the next couple of weeks. Just actually approved that ad today. And NewsWeb Radio is also going to be running about 20 spots for us. We're going to do some live reads on the radio as well. We have Daily Herald is our premier print sponsor. And they are going to be doing a program guide. It's a 4-page program guide that's going to be mailed out to over 17,000 homes and businesses. And then on top of that, Mary already mentioned the social media. Linda in our office will be creating those events. And then we just ask that you click on those events, comment on those events, share those events. You know, invite your people. We also have some 3-ups out by the registration, little envelope stuffers if you want to grab a stack of those. And as you're doing invoices or mailing anything out to your clients, you can throw that in there, put your booth number on there, and then they can come and visit you. So we got a lot going on. Definitely.
And we're going to talk about engaging and greeting people. You're going to walk up. First thing you don't want to do is be staring at someone's name tag. Oh, hi, Joe. Nice to meet you. Really, I don't care if you use my name. Just look at me. You know, hi, how are you? Okay. And then later you can get my name. You know, so be friendly, smile on your face. An ice-breaking statement. What brings you to the Expo today? You know, if I say, hey, Rich, how are you?
Fine, how are you?
Good. Where do we go from there? Or, how's it going today? Fine.
Fine.
That's it. I want to engage him. I want to talk. I want to, you know, start asking questions. So what brings you here today? Now you can't answer yes or no or fine. You've got to think of something else, and the dialogue starts. And that opens it up. You can start asking some questions. You know, you want to qualify, is this person a good lead for you? Open-ended questions. What, how, why? Tell me, describe. Describe the problem you're having with your marketing. Is it working for you? How many, you know, widgets have you sold? What do you need? Do you like this chocolate? Have you tried this chocolate? Here, what do you think? What do you think of this chocolate? There we go. And then listen. Listen to what they tell you. A lot of times, you know, you've got your speech prepared, but you need to listen to what they're telling you. Maybe they just wanted to taste the chocolate. That's it. They don't want to take the survey, and I'm pushing it on them. You know, don't. Just listen. Here's some other great lines. I've also included some in your packet. You know, describe your challenges with. What are you looking for in a? Tell me about your business. What are some other ones? What are appropriate to your business? Anyone?
How are you preparing for healthcare reform?
Okay, good. Not, are you preparing for healthcare reform? Yes, no. I mean, I've got to answer that. I've got to come up with something. So, great. Any questions about greeting people? Leads. We're going to gather leads. Can I take a business card? I really like to use a lead form just because I like to write. I like to write a little bit more information down, and I like to score it to see if I should follow up on them right away. Okay, so I included a sample lead form in your packet. It's what I use. You can adjust it. You can use it. You don't have to use it. A lot of people give you your business card. So I take the business card. I'll staple it right to that, and then I can ask some questions. So, blah blah blah. What kind of marketing do you do in your company? Have you tried email marketing? What's the most successful thing that you're using? So I'm gathering information. When we're all done, the thing that's important is you want to agree to how you're going to follow up. So should I send you an email with that information, with a link to my website? Do you want me to add you to our newsletter? It's full of great tips about trade shows and exhibiting. You want me to send that? I can send that literature out to you. Great. And then you can take a note time frame. The other thing you want to do as they walk away, score it. I know you'll probably remember it, but you know what? 2 weeks from now, when someone says, how were those leads? And you forget. You might follow up on them right away, but it's good to score it. Just kind of nonchalantly put, I use 1, 2, 3. You can write hot, urgent, garbage, whatever, but nonchalantly, discreetly try and score it. So then when you get back and you're looking at those leads the next day, you know which ones you need to follow up on first. Dismissing. Okay, we got somebody in the booth. Rich, can you come on up here? Okay, so he doesn't want to leave yet. Okay? So, and people are starting to pile up.
Okay.
So, eye contact. Rich, it was really great. Thanks so much for stopping by. I'll be sure and send you that information tomorrow.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so here, let's try this. Rich, thank you so much. Now we're walking out of the booth.
I really like to talk.
You know what, do you have any nut allergies? Because you know what I'll do is I'm going to send you some, I'll send you some other samples in the mail. Your address is correct?
Yes.
Great, thank you so much.
Okay.
Okay, so now I'm walking him out. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
The other thing you can do is let's say we're talking and someone else comes into the booth. You don't have to have an exclusive one-on-one conversation. I can say, Rich, do you mind, just a second. Joe, I'm just finishing up with Rich. I'll be with you in just a minute. So that lets Rich know, we're almost done. And it lets Joe know, I want to talk to him. I want to spend some time with him. Or if you're still filling out your survey, I can say, hold on, you don't mind a minute, Rich. Joe, listen, we're sampling some chocolates, and then we're going to take a little survey. Why don't you come join us? Hey, Tim, come on, you can too. Why don't we all just sample these chocolates and fill out this survey right here? So you don't have to just talk to one person. You can talk to the crowd. You're hoping you can talk to the crowd, right? All right, any questions on dismissing? Okay, here's some other ways to do it. Here's some other, and somebody good show. Appreciate the time you spent with me. See you later. As we agreed, I'll give you a call on Tuesday to discuss those chocolates. Thanks, Rich. Thanks for stopping. I need to move on to these other people. We'll continue our conversation when I'm not so busy. Okay, so someone who really doesn't want to leave, you can just be honest with them. I've really got to move on. It's getting busy here. If you want to stop by later near the end of the show when it slows down, or here's my contact information. I'll call you, but if you have a question in the meantime, certainly give me a call or send me an email. You want them to know you're interested, but you're not there to spend 4.5 hours talking to one person. Okay, follow up. Follow up on them. Do what you said you were going to do. I'm going to send you a sample. I'm going to send you literature. okay? Follow up the way you agreed to follow up when you took that leave. They're expecting that phone call. They're expecting you to call to make that appointment because you agreed on it when they left the booth. But just follow up and do exactly what you said you agreed to. So post-show. Show's over. We followed up on the leads. We're done. We're not really done. You want to take some notes. You know, when you were standing there was a booth around the corner from you that was in a much better spot than yours was. They seem to be a lot busier. So you know what? Let's take some notes. So next year, when we go to the expo, maybe we'll sign up sooner and we'll try to get that booth. You know, take some notes. I liked somebody's sign. Take pictures. You know, I need to get different literature. I didn't like the way my booth was set up. We all need to get logoed shirts. I need to give away some more pens. You know, take some notes so you remember. Calculate what it cost you. All right, it cost you, you know, $400 for the booth, but did you have giveaways? Did you get a new banner? Things like that. Calculate those costs, but then also, 6 months from now, look at what sales were brought in due to attending that. So then you'll know, yes, this is a show, I need to go to this expo again. And actually, I might take one booth at one side and one booth on the other side, because you know, we had great traffic and we had great results from it.
Anything overall that you could look at as far as a report?
Lori, did you hear that question? Is there anything after the show that the GOA will put together, kind of an overview of, you know, number of visitors?
We will be collecting business cards as people are coming in, so we will create a list of those that did walk through, and we will give that to, it would not include email addresses, but you would have information of those that would be walking through, so
their
address,
addresses?
phone number. Mm-hmm.
So you could do phone call follow-up. You could certainly do an email campaign if you looked up what the businesses were and picked out the ones that were appropriate for you. Maybe you missed them, you know, when they were walking by. You know, you were in that bad booth location.
Will this
What will be
be,
included in that
It
file?
would be contact name, address, company, and phone number and fax. We would
Business
just,
titles?
possibly if we're able to obtain that information. Yeah, we'll give you as much as we can.
will this
except
be a
for
data
email.
file?
I'm sorry?
Will this be a data file?
Yes.
An Excel spreadsheet?
Yep.
A little bit of booth etiquette. We want to look professional. Wear a logo shirt, you know, wear a nice suit, be clean, polish your shoes. This is my biggest thing. Polish your shoes. Wear a belt, comb your hair. Wear the team uniform. Don't sit in the booth. You know, you're only there for 4.5 hours. Stand up, talk to people. If you're sitting in the booth, you know, it looks like you don't want to be there. You're tired, it's been a long day, oh my gosh. You know what, you want to be out in the aisles, you want to talk to people, you want to bring them into your booth, you want to be engaging, bring them in. Don't eat or drink in the booth. Again, 4.5 hours, a bottle of water, yes, have a bottle of water, because you know what, if you're talking to that many people, you're going to get thirsty. But you know, you don't need to eat, you don't need to sample the chocolates. You don't need to eat watermelon. Don't hand out literature and samples freely. Gives you a reason to follow up with them. You know what, I'm not going to I can give you the literature now, but then you just have to carry it around. Why don't I send it to you? Wow, so then in another week when he's gone through, you know, you've gone through everybody else's literature and thrown it away, mine's going to come all by itself. You're going to sit there, have a cup of coffee, and open it up and be like, wow, I need to call her. So it gives you a good reason.
You know, what I found too is, you want to drive them, let's say, to your website. And somebody will say, well, do you have any literature? Well, I do have my business card. If you go to my website, since I'm an eco-friendly green company, I hate to kill trees. And at that point, they're like, oh,
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, they have all great, you know, intentions gathering literature, but it really gets thrown away. I did it myself 2 weeks ago. I did a trade show. I was like, I hate to take literature because usually I throw it away, but I'm really going to keep this one. Yeah, I threw it away. Don't text or talk to people. It's just, you know, again, 4.5 hours, you're there to talk to people. You know, if you're texting or you're talking on the phone, no one's going to stop. You want to be ready to talk to people. Okay, if you're in the booth with another person, you're working together, don't stand there talking, Joe, so what are we gonna do tonight? You want to grab dinner after we're done? No. You know, stand there and you're there to engage the people walking by. All right, so we're gonna review. Talk about pre-show planning. Any questions? What are we gonna do? Throw our stuff in the car and go? No, we're gonna think about how we're gonna set up the booth. We might get a new graphic, some literature. We might put a little PowerPoint together, that'd be fun. What else? What other marketing?
What time does it open up for us to get here?
Lori, what time does it open for them to
For
move
setup?
in?
10 o'clock. And then we just ask that all booths be occupied by about 1:30. And then we're also going to do a high-speed networking event just before the expo from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. But we encourage exhibitors to not participate in that particular event. Because what we're trying to do is get people to come early. So as soon as we open up those expo doors at 2 o'clock, you have attendees walking through coming to visit.
It's a great idea.
What do you mean by a high-speed network?
It's almost, the only way that I can describe it would
Speed
almost be like a
networking.
speed dating thing. So one row moves, one row stays put, and every 2 minutes, one person moves down a seat, so then you're talking to new people every 2 minutes.
So does each exhibitor have someone participating in that?
We would prefer that exhibitors do not participate, because we
So-
want
so-
outside people to come in.
They're networking with each other.
Correct.
They're not networking with the
And this is
exhibitor.
prior to the show opening.
Okay.
Okay. So pre-show marketing, you're gonna tell all of your contacts. You're gonna send out an email, you're gonna include it in your newsletters, you're gonna talk about it when you go for a cup of coffee. And then the GOA is gonna give you some information, you're gonna continue to promote it. Engage and greet.
So if I go back.
Yes?
On the GOA, I want to send out a notification to all my clients.
Okay?
But I want them to be, coming through also for the GOA itself. Is there a piece that would give them a description of what they'll find at the GOA rather than just us?
Lori, can we see one of those? Did you hear the question?
I did.
Okay, so Dave wants to send an email out to his contacts, and he wants to invite them to the booth, to the expo, but he'd also like some information about the GOA. Is that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I've got clients that, I don't want to necessarily invite them to come to my booth, but I want to invite them, let them know that I'm participating in the GOA.
Well, you know what you could do is, we do have an expo website, so if you go to our website at thegoa.com, if you drive them to that website, they have to go to GOA first, so they'll be able to see who GOA is, and then they can enter the expo website and see all those that are participating at the expo.
That's a great
Okay.
idea. That's a great idea. So if you send an email out to your contacts, you can include a link to the GOA, and then they'll see that right when they open up that homepage. It's a really good idea. Okay, engaging and greeting. We all know. Open-ended questions. What brings you to the expo today? What are your issues with? What companies have you talked to already today? That's a good one, because then you'll know who are they interested in. What are they there for? Dismissing. Thanks so much for coming, Dave. It was really great. And then again, if they're not leaving, just walk them towards the corner of the booth. And you know what? If they're not leaving and they're working on your survey, invite other people to come in and hear the conversation. Booth etiquette, again, don't sit, don't lean. Would you like me to stand here like this and talk to you? So, what else do you want to talk about? Act professional. Dress nice, polish your shoes, my thing.
Wear a couple pair of shoes if you're smart.
You could, actually, that's a really good point. You could rotate, bring an extra pair of shoes. That way the pressure points aren't all, you're not there for 4.5 hours on the same, on the same shoes.
I have a couple of questions, like comments regarding the dismissing. There are those people that you have to dismiss, but there are also those people whom you want to draw in that walk around with their head hanging down and don't look at you because they are afraid they'll be drawn in. And there are also those groups of people that are there, the grandmas.
Right?
And they are there just for the goodies and the food. But a comment about the grandmas, my thought, part of my thought about them is they all have grandchildren, and some of them are grown. So, I was just wondering if you could comment about those.
Well, honestly, if someone comes in the booth, when someone stops at your booth, all of a sudden someone else wants to know what's going on. So, if there is someone in your booth that's really, not a good lead for you, and there's, that's an 8x8 booth, there's plenty of room. We could get 5 of us in there, and I could talk loud enough so people could hear, but, so if one person's just looking around and talking, as long as you're, you can talk to them, engage them, but as long as you're, kind of scanning, making sure if there's anyone else that's coming by that may be hesitating about coming in, and just do, excuse me just a minute, you don't mind, come on in, I'm just finishing up with Grandma. So then she knows, her time is over.
I need one more piece of clarity on the booth over the strategic marketing, the big board on the right.
Yes?
That's something that you have.
That's mine.
So, and I would have to create one and bring it in.
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. What you'll get is it's a piece of, I guess, a board with the name of your company on it. So you could do something like this. I don't know what you have. You can also you can use an easel if you have a cardboard, a nice foam core, some literature or something like that. But you just want to make sure you've got some type of graphic there that'll stop people.
Right.
And tell them what the benefit is, why, grow your business with on-demand marketing expertise. Someone walking by, they know what I'm going to do for them. Here we go. The largest sports and expo center. Wow. Largest in DuPage County. This is great. That's what you want to get that information across. But you can do, you could really put a big poster here. You could, I don't know, even those, those open, just like a tabletop display that goes on here. But just put out some information or put out some pieces that reflect your business. My plant, that's just basically because it looks pretty and I like plants and it's variegated. So when someone says, what kind of marketing is that? I can explain. Well, it's variegated. It's like that, like the leaf. It's made up of different types, just like your marketing plan should be. That's it. Any other questions? No? Do you want to practice anything? No?
Can I say something real quick, Mary?
Yes.
If anyone is looking for promo items or signs like the variegated marketing one or anything that you need to dress up your booth, feel free to contact the GOA office because we can put you in contact with any member that does that. And then you can price it out and decide what you want to do. And then if you're going to do promotional items, I would suggest that I don't think you need to have 1,000 promotional items. You don't necessarily have to give to every single person that comes through, but maybe cut that in half a little bit. You use your better judgment. Obviously if you ordered 1,000, I'm sure you use them for something else. But just, things like that people are walking away with something that, has your name on it.
Mm-hmm. And those, you can even hand those out. You don't have to leave, if you've got pens, you can just stick them behind and just, hey, thanks, Joe, for coming. Here, why don't you take a pen? You don't have to have them out for everyone to just grab as they walk by. Nothing else? Anything else? All right, well, thank you so much.
Thank you.